Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Well, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
Oh my God. I got dog hair on stuff and everything.
Happy Wednesday. Dog hair, traveling. Look at you across the country.
All over the place. So hello from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Your favorite East Coast city.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Much love, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, no, I'm in a household, by the way. I didn't say this beforehand, but I'm in a household. I got all my family around, aunts and uncles in town, my cousins coming in tomorrow. Cool. So yeah, if you see a flying child go behind me, that's just part of it.
We welcome it. It's the life that we share over here.
I
dig it.
How are things going in good old Miami for you?
Miami's going good. I've been all in on writing the book. I'm going to share the title, I think, next week.
Oh, my God.
I'm sending out everyone's chapters for approval. So we've interviewed 70 or 75 people will have their knowledge in this book. And I had to get approval from 75 different people. So waiting on a few left. But I'm very excited about this. So
congratulations.
I got nervous. And Sarah, you're in the book.
I am in the book.
And our friend Will Slickers behind the scenes is going to be in the book. And then we've got a lot of people. There he is. So we've got a lot of great knowledge in this book. I'm excited to get it done and put it out.
Good morning, Christopher, by the way. I'm excited for you. This is great. So, by the way, let us know where you guys are joining us from on this live. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Uncle Dave.
Yeah, who's there? Uncle Dave. All right.
Uncle Dave. Should I plug your show? Operation Freedom on YouTube. Go check it out. Anyway, cool. He's got way more followers than I do on YouTube.
He's fighting for freedom. That's why. We're just talking about hospitality.
I know. It's a far smaller feat.
Well, Christopher, always good to see you. Thanks for joining. And we've got a lot of people joining everywhere last week. It was great to see, and we love seeing the audience continue to grow. But I got to vent. Can I vent to you for travel for 1 second?
Because I know
we're going to talk about travel in this.
Tell me
for anyone listening, maybe you think that I'm crazy. So, look, we're doing well as a family. We're not ultra wealthy, but we're not, we can travel places. And so we were trying to plan something for next summer. And, I start imagining all these great places we talk about. We talk about so many great things. And I want to go see a bunch of cities in Europe with my young kids. So we said, all right, we'll take a cruise. We like Royal Caribbean. We're big fans of Royal Caribbean. We find a great cruise. Like, all right, I'm booking this thing. As I'm like researching on YouTube and seeing the cruise ship, I'm all in. So how much could flights be? The flights are $5,000 for the four of us in coach to fly to Barcelona. And to me, it's crazy because that's more than the cruise for a week.
I mean, it's crazy. To fly. But it's like what? $12.50 a ticket, give or take.
But I don't remember it being that way. It was like last time I flew to Europe, it was like $500 and you're planning a year in advance. It's
$500. What
500, 600. You can find something. Spirit Air over there. Something that goes over there.
I just wanted to say Wizz Air.
But yeah, it is just wild to me, right? Like you can find that cruise, and now I got to figure out how we swim over there.
Yeah.
Or we save up for the flight. But am I way off? An audience, am I way off? This seems crazy that the flight is more than the actual whole vacation with meals and entertainment and board in the cruise ship and different.
Well, it just shows you how cost effective cruises are. But
see, Jim, I got to check on your flight, Jim. We're going to check those. Maybe I just go to Ireland.
Aer Lingus. It'll get you over there. Yeah. I mean, there might be some ways we can maybe talk about some point hacking offline.
I got a lot of points. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm done venting. I just wanted to make sure because
Okay.
I want to go to these trips. There's so many cool places to go, but it seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
tickets are a barrier to entry for a lot of people I talk to because I started talking to a lot of people this week. They're like, yeah, there's a lot of fun places, but how do you get there and make sure you don't bust that budget?
Yep. Right. It's a thing. It's a
Yeah.
thing. Well, maybe we'll work on something to like help make
Yeah.
that happen. I can try and share some tips offline if I
We'll
know
share
any.
the point hacking tips with everyone here. And if you have some tips or there's some trips you want to go on, let us know. Maybe we'll work that into the show next week so we can
Ooh, look at you
point
creating
hacking.
that content.
Mhm.
Creating that content. Well, if you're ready, why don't we go ahead and start talking about
Let's do it.
what's happening in hotels and travel?
There's a lot.
Aside from things just being very expensive. Okay, so first off, Hyatt Hotels has completed the sale of the Hyatt Regency Orlando for over $1 billion. Now this is pretty huge. By the way, this Hyatt Regency Orlando, it has 1,600 rooms and
Yes.
it's adjacent to 45 acres of land. Um, I mean, this is just it's amazing. So this was just huge, just because I mean, obviously it's a huge sale, but I mean, just with what's been going on, just with Hyatt and the growth and all of that, I mean, this is definitely a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And Hyatt continues to offload properties. So this one, you said $1 billion also comes with 45 acres of
Yeah.
land. So I think that makes the price tag go up a little bit, not just for the hotel. But Hyatt has been doing this. They've been offloading properties. Last year, they sold the Confidant here in Miami Beach
Oh yeah.
for a nice chunk, which was $250,000. So they're racking up money and they're going to be using that money to acquire new companies that are asset light. They don't want to own the land anymore. They
Yeah.
don't want to own the building anymore. Everyone's going asset light now.
Totally. And to be clear, they're actually going to retain their long-term management agreement under the Hyatt Regency brand. So,
Mhm.
yeah, but this is, I mean,
Yeah, look,
hey,
there's another story that we kind of came up last night, but we can tie it into
yeah.
this. Is that
Hey,
Hyatt
hey, let's talk about it.
bought the Standard hotels, right? So they're buying the brands.
I know there was rumors. We talked about this actually a couple
We
weeks
did.
ago. There
Mhm.
were rumors. We were ahead of the curve. I would just like
As
to
always,
I would just like everybody
right?
to make note of that. We are the TMZ of
Our
hospitality.
sources were letting us know what was going on the
You
streets.
heard it here first. The streets of hospitality. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah. So
Mhm.
exactly. That's another great example. Love, by the way. I'm a big fan of the Standard brand and
Yep, me
excited that
too.
they
They're
went
here,
ahead
but
and did that.
it's amazing because you could buy an entire brand for 150 million,
Yeah.
right? And they sold that land for 1 billion. It's an
Yeah.
amazing to see what you can do. So take that money, buy some more brands, get some more inventory, get people
Mhm.
spending in your company. I like the move. And I think
Yeah,
with that money raised, they're going to start buying some other things too.
totally. Very strategic. By the way, they are not the only one buying up brands or at least doing licensing agreements. So Marriott International just established a long-term licensing agreement with Sonder. By the way, have you stayed at a Sonder
I have
property?
never stayed at a Sonder. There were some around me. They just
Yeah.
weren't my taste, I guess you would
Yeah.
say.
Okay. Well, very delicate. Whoa.
Yeah. Would that be? Yeah, I've known Sonder for a long time. I knew them when they were Flat Book was their first name, when they were
Oh,
booking flats.
I did
So
not
that
know
was
that.
back in the day. They
Fascinating.
rebranded to Sonder. But they did great. Look, it's hard to build a company up, and they built that company up using that Airbnb arbitrage model where they were leasing out places and
Yeah.
entire buildings. Like they would raise money, hundreds of $1 million, raised it, lease out entire buildings, rent them out like hotels, but they just got caught up when they went public and their
Yeah.
stock started tanking and there was talks about them going out of business. And so this is kind of like that lifeline to sign on with Marriott. And now you got that Marriott booking engine and
Yep.
Marriott, we know, is getting involved in more of the longer stays. So I think this
Oh,
actually is a
totally.
good deal for everybody because Sonder was almost game over. Marriott comes in, they've got 9,000 solid units that people
Yep.
can do an apartment style. And I think everyone wins there.
Yeah, so this will definitely add, as you said, 9,000 rooms to Marriott's portfolio later this year. It's interesting. I was thinking there is a Sonder near me, actually in Santa Monica, and the hotel was not a Viceroy, a Shangri-La. It was a Shangri-La in Santa Monica, and I always forget about this, but every time I walk by, and it's right there on Ocean Avenue in Santa Monica, and it's now a Sonder property. And so I haven't been in it since. I've been meaning to go in because I'd be curious to see what they did to make it different.
Mhm.
if anything at all, I mean, obviously, update and all of that, but I thought that was pretty interesting. And this is again, another big move for Marriott to just add those rooms and then also really lean into the long-term stays.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna get from it. Because really, if you ask
Yeah.
people on the streets, like, "Hey, have you stayed at a Sonder before?" They're gonna be like, we're in the industry and not many people have heard of it." Which,
Yeah.
look, it's hard to build a company, and I give all the credit to people who put their life into something and build something up, and they made something happen there. But for the vacation rental industry, Vacasa is a big name that's struggling
Yeah.
big time. You see it in their stocks. Sonder was the
Yeah.
second largest kind of name in the industry, was struggling. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the vacation rental / short-term rental market. But for hotels, I like it because, again, more options. You can stay longer. You have a Marriott brand really pushing it through. And I think it'll be good because now everyone can use their Bonvoy points to
Oh
book
yeah.
in.
All about those points. All about that point life, by
That's
the
what it
way, which
is.
you
That's going
it
to
is.
help them. I think that will help them right away.
But yeah, it's also brand awareness. I mean, even we can look at, for example, Delta Hotels, which is not, I don't believe, an American brand, but when Marriott
It's
took
coming
it
here. Their
over,
first one. Yeah. They're
yeah,
opening the first one.
exactly. So we know of Delta Hotels, we as in the average American, through Marriott. So again, this will be a really interesting way as far as how it gets the brand awareness out there. So yeah, so interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah. And if you were, looking on the Monday show, if you haven't checked out the Monday show, they were talking about this a little bit as well. So they go a
Yeah.
little bit more in depth about it. So make sure to check them out over there. But it's interesting. I think I'm happy to see that they made it happen there.
Yeah. All right. We have definitely talked about this topic before, but I think it's so cool. It's worthwhile to mention again. Um, Different tourism brands are embracing this sober travel trend. By the way, I don't know about you, but my social media feed recently, I also, I explore a lot of different health content. So I'm always getting different things from workout ideas to whatever. And there really is this big push on people looking for other options other than, or maybe not looking for other options, just foregoing alcohol. And so
Mhm.
being this sober travel trend, you've got a lot of these big brands that are really getting in on it. And we know we've talked about how different hotels and restaurants have a lot more non-alcoholic options on their cocktail list, which is super cool. But I
Yep.
love this notion of dry tripping. So people are going on dry trips. They're not having any
Yep.
alcohol when they go on vacations, which I mean, honestly, it saves you a whole lot of money. But people are finding that they're engaging with their travel experiences far differently. So
No, I
what are
think
your
it's
thoughts
great.
on
And I
that?
think, look, you're a good example of it. Like, you are not a drinker,
I am
right?
not
And
a
we talked
drinker.
about
Correct.
this. And so this is great because you can still feel like you're part of it. Because a lot of times people go out, like, we have so many cultures and things that are around drinking, whether it's sports or entertainment or going to
Yeah,
restaurants or
totally.
bars or after work or whatever it might be. It seems to center around a lot of that. And I've been around that my whole life,
Yeah,
right? It seems like, because I kind of grew up in it. And so I
sure.
went to college, right? That's what it is. And,
Yeah.
you come out and you work and it's after hour stuff. But I recently did 3 months of no drinking just for
How's that?
myself. And
How'd you feel?
I felt great. I mean, I missed having a drink here and there,
Yeah,
but
sure, sure.
what I learned very quickly was I liked places that had options for me because I could
Mhm.
still feel like a part of it. And it's just a habit of like, hey, I want to hold a glass and I could have a non-alcoholic spritz or
Yeah,
cocktail or whatever it might be. So it was nice, but you're seeing it in the trends. I talked to a lot of my friends in the industry, and
yeah.
beer sales are way down, wine sales are way down. It's interesting to see where it continues, but I love it for my kids. They're Generation Alpha. I'm curious to see what they see, and they're
Yeah.
always watching what their parents and others are doing. They're all very smart, so let's see what happens.
And by the way, these are like all travel brands. So we're definitely seeing
Hmm.
this in cruises. So like all the big cruise lines, Celebrity Cruises, Holland America, MSC, Oceania Princess. I also, gosh, it was a couple years ago that Hyatt had debuted their zero proof, zero judgment program at select Andaz and Thompson properties. So again, Hilton definitely embraces dry tripping. JetBlue, I love this. JetBlue actually became the first US airline to offer the option of a non-alcoholic beer on board. And then in business class, they have a zero proof version of, they have this mint condition cocktail,
Mhm.
So I love that JetBlue did that, and then Alaska Airlines followed late last year with its own non-alcoholic beer. So hey, look, we're seeing that even on airlines. That's awesome.
No, I love it. Look, as a former food and beverage director, I would encourage all of you,
Yes.
don't just make it your cocktail with no alcohol. All right. It doesn't work. You got to
Never know.
find some solutions that are creative, just like JetBlue, and we can share the article here. Don't do the same. Oh, this is the virgin version of it. No, create something
Wait. You mean the Shirley Temple doesn't count?
that will count, but don't give me, hey, here's your mojito, no rum. Right? That's just soda
Yeah.
water and mint and sugar. Like, get creative. There's some fun things you can do with different
There's
spritzes
definitely
and
fun
different
things.
cocktail ideas. And now there's some non-alcoholic liquors that still give the same taste that you can add to.
Yeah.
So it's there. And for the people who complain, like, why am I paying the same price for a non-alcoholic as I am an alcoholic? There's a lot of ingredients that go into them. They still cost. Someone's got to make them. You got the real estate underneath that bar they got to pay for. So anyhow, I've seen that online too, where people complain
No,
about
there's lots of
non-alcoholics.
good stuff. So speaking of, since we kind of like mentioned Alaska, big news, Alaska Air and Hawaiian Airlines merger has cleared the Department of Justice
Mhm.
hurdle. Now the big question is, will it actually benefit flyers? Okay, so we mentioned this briefly. So Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines were seeking to merge a couple of months ago, I think at the beginning of the year. But the big thing was, would they be allowed to? Because JetBlue, as for those that might remember, JetBlue and Spirit also had similar intentions to do so, but those plans actually fell through when a federal judge blocked them, the $3.8 billion deal. So it's interesting now that this has been approved, what's going to happen. I mean, Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines, they're claiming this merger would actually expand benefits and choice for consumers throughout Hawaii and the Asia Pacific region and globally, but others are also questioning it. So what are you seeing with this?
I'm questioning all airlines now, other
Yeah,
than Aer
okay.
Lingus. Okay,
Okay.
Jim, other than Aer Lingus. I
Oh
think
my gosh.
it's hard to run airlines. I know I've read more and more about it just because we talk about it so much, and the cost of fuel, and there's less flights because they want to fill the flights and make sure every seat is full. I know
Yes,
that most flights lose money on the coach seats and make their money on the business class
yes,
and the front
yes.
first class.
All of the
So
above.
I know that it's hard to run an airline. It just seems like the less competition there is,
You know where they make
prices
their
start
money,
going up.
right?
Tell
They
me,
make their money in their credit cards,
is
in
that
their
where they make
coach.
most of their money? Because I saw
Yes,
like in first class
yes.
and business class where they make a lot of their money.
I mean, yes, correct. No, they do make a lot of their money when, as far as like selling seats. Yes, the bulk of the money
With
is
the
made
credit
in
card,
selling
right? So they're
first, and yes,
financial, yeah.
but that's why they are so big on joining their loyalty and rewards programs, and then that tied into, be it American Express, Chase, etc. That business is larger than the airline business as far as money. I don't know the exact figures off the top of my head, but that business is actually larger. So
Yeah, makes
that's why
sense.
they're all like, get the credit cards, get the credit cards.
Yeah,
That
and I go,
way,
look, I know you have to offset the cost somehow, and
yeah,
just to me, it seems wild right now. But
totally. I mean,
just because I'm in it right now, looking as a family of four, so I'm still in my mind, like, how do you get places as a family of four now? Like, I'm the average American family, right? And we want to go certain
you are.
places. You got to pay a ton for those flights, or you're
It's
doing a really long drive, which doesn't go very well sometimes.
well, but case in point, that is why a lot of families opt for road trips. It simply is expensive to fly. And by the way, that's just a flight to Europe. I mean, we also know that many times the flights within the
Country crazy too.
within the country are expensive. It cost
Yeah,
me $1,000 to come from Los Angeles to Allentown.
yeah.
I mean, I
Now,
would much rather spend $1,000 and go to Paris. Come
yeah,
on.
it's nuts. It
It's
is
crazy.
crazy. But anyhow, I'm curious to see how this plays out for
Yeah.
Alaska and Hawaii, because I know those are the furthest states out from the continental U.S. So maybe it does help, right? And it helps everyone get to those places easier. I wish them the best, and for all travelers, I hope it works.
I hope so too. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the U.S. Travel Association, which has reported on economic conditions in the travel industry. So, the U.S. Travel Association released a report highlighting current economic conditions, basically with an emphasis on growth and stability despite recent and broader economic swings. So, basically, while international travel remains stronger and more popular, hence why it might be more expensive for you,
That's what
Steve.
it is. I know.
92% of Americans are planning trips within the next 6 months, and TSA passenger counts.
Americans.
I know, but TSA counts just keep setting records. I mean,
Yeah.
what was it at the end of June and then the
It
beginning
was
of
like
July?
July 4th set the record when we were talking last.
Over 3 million travelers accounted for by TSA domestically. That's huge. That's huge. And then the travel industry as a whole has also added 18,000 jobs over the past 2 months. So there's a lot going on. There's some growth happening.
There is. I just got my passport today. Just came in my office. Just got it. So I'm ready to go travel.
Oh no, I don't. You can't really show your picture without.
No,
showing
everyone's gonna get all my information. I'm gonna get hacked.
Oh my
here.
God. Oh, Steve, I totally want to know your date of birth, even though I know what it is.
That's what my picture looked like. But I like too. Part of this report was, some things that I experienced. Disney, right? We went to Disney a couple months ago.
Proud of you for that.
Ultra expensive, and now people are saying like we can't continue to go to Disney. Prices are too high. The food is too expensive. So now they're dropping the prices.
For a family of 4 again to go to Disney?
Yeah. Well, we did Universal this past time, and Disney was in August of last year. And look, the tickets just by themselves to get in the park each day was $1,200.
Yeah, I was just about to say $1,200. $1,200 per day. I would like to have full service food and like I don't want to.
That's just to get in. That's just
to
get in. That's just to get in. And then if you want to do the passes and get on rides, and then there's all the upsells, and you have to get the children a gift, or then you're a terrible parent because they don't want plushie, and they're good at taking money. I give them all the credit. There's a lot of filters there to make sure you leave with no money, but how much money it costs to do certain things is starting to add up, and people are saying they're like us. I'm not going this year. So Disney has to wake up, and that's why their stock price is down, and we'll see what they do to get people back.
And that is why people don't go to Disney every year. It has, I mean, not has to, but for some, it's got to be something that they save up for. Yeah, it's expensive for sure, especially if you go for a couple
hotels. Yeah, you're in the Disney bubble. You got to do the hotel, and you got the parks and food. But there's hacks to get around it. But if you just want to do it, it's expensive. So we will see what continues to happen. But people continue to travel, and I'm one of them where I'm saying, look. We talked about it last one. Was it the justifications?
Justifications with our friends.
Give a reminder of what it is, right?
Yes,
we work so hard. We're justified, right?
Totally. Allianz coined this term. Allianz Travel Insurance, by the way. If you need travel insurance, go ahead, check them out. That sounded like such a plug. Reach out to me. I can hook you up. Anyway, but yeah, they coined this term that more Americans are justifying vacations. They are putting more of their money into traveling and planning vacations. So I think it's a cute term, but it definitely focuses on the shift of people prioritizing experiences over things, for sure.
Yeah, I was in that boat just this weekend. Like, I work hard. My wife works hard. We deserve a cruise in Europe. And then I was like, okay, well, we'll see. Maybe we take a cruise to the Caribbean. That'll be right out of our backyard.
Yeah. Hey, look, and that's okay too. That's great.
I love them. Yeah, I love going on those cruises. I just wanted to go over there.
Yeah, something more exotic. I get it. Well, maybe we can do something with the flights and make it somehow happen.
All right, we'll write a story on the flights. Let us know.
Yeah, we will.
I'll write you an article.
Okay, speaking of flights and ridiculous news, this woman delayed a flight over her Louis Vuitton bag. Now,
got to. Hopefully, it was a real one.
Yes, I would think it was. So basically, this woman adamantly refused to store her handbag under the seat in front of her, so much so that they eventually actually removed her from the flight, and it caused a delay for an hour. This was a domestic flight within China, so you are correct. It could have been a fake, but I believe it was a real Louis Vuitton. Neither the airline nor the woman was identified. But so, I mean, also, I kind of get it. Like, even culturally speaking, I mean, first of all, the bag is expensive. Fine, yeah, but you can also argue that like suitcases are expensive. But there is the cultural thing where it's bad luck to put your purse on the ground.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have it on a hook. Listen, you got to protect that Louis at all costs. Okay.
We got that LV.
You got to protect the Louis. Look, I know there's a lot of nice things out there. I think you just have to be maybe not a well-seasoned traveler. Like, what's going to happen, and you got to be ready. But to cause a delay, put it under the seat, and then once the flight takes off, put it back on your lap.
Put it in the bin above you. I mean, that's not technically on the floor.
crazy. Maybe it was her mom's bag. Let's create a story. It was her mom's bag. The mom had just passed away. It was very special to her. She needed to protect it. And that's why she held up
it
the bag.
down. You can wipe it down.
You need to help her out. But Louis creates those travel trunks too. So get a travel trunk next time.
Get a travel trunk. Exactly. And then put your bag in it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's very, very good.
There you go. We solved the problem.
So crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen anything that ridiculous on flights, but let us know. By the way, Labor Day weekend.
Right here.
Right here. I was trying to plan something for that Monday and people were like, oh, that's Labor Day. I'm like, oh, my bad. Totally forgot about that. So AAA has unveiled their top domestic and international destinations for Labor Day travel. I saw a couple of familiar names in there. Yeah, will actually be at one of those destinations. So they're actually finding that cruising to Alaska, which, by the way, that could also be an option for you, or flying to Seattle are two of the most popular options for 2024, which is interesting.
What's going on in Seattle?
I think
it's this time of year, like it's a good time of year to visit.
It's a great time of year to visit. It's because it's still, it's not as hot. It's this crispness. And by the way, if you've ever spent any time in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, the air there is it's very different. It's very different. I don't know what's exactly going on in Seattle, why everybody's going there over
first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Then you got Orlando, Anchorage, New York, Boston, Las Vegas, Denver, Chicago, and Juneau. So 2 places in Alaska. So amazing.
It's gonna be.
Oh boy. Oh. Here we go.
Oh, what? I'm not allowed to make dad jokes. Okay. Anyway. You're like, I'm done. I'm over with this.
That was a good one.
This is crazy. Yeah, that was a good one. But then internationally, they talk Rome, London, Paris, Dublin, Amsterdam, Barcelona. But Vancouver was the top holiday destination for 2024, which, by the way, I will be at Vancouver actually this time next week. So
really? Nice.
I will report back on how that goes.
Very cool. Yeah, I was looking for a winter trip, and Quebec City looked really cool. I hadn't been up there, so it looked very fun for like the holiday time. Very Christmassy and wintry.
So very nice. That's now the eastern side.
Yeah, I know. Yes, you're in the west side.
Vancouver is very lovely.
I need to get up there and explore some more. I've only been to Montreal up there, so I got to see some more of my Canadian neighbors up there.
Well, we love our friends to the north. They're great.
I love them. Always very nice. If you're watching, let us know what city we should go visit up there in Canada. I'd love to see what you think.
Got my Nexus card. We'll travel. I'm kidding. I'm going to just stop with that. Anyway, it's going to be a busy weekend. Let us know if you're traveling for Labor Day weekend. If you're doing anything fun, whether you're doing something, going for a hike and spending time in the great outdoors that way, or whether you're doing beaches or maybe going to a city. Lots of great options there. All right. That being said, wow, where has the time gone? Let's go ahead and go through our real-time recap. What have you seen out there in the streets of hospitality?
Streets. Well, yesterday I was out on the streets, finishing up our 50 hotels in 50 days. I got 2 left.
I heard about you.
2 left.
2 left.
2 left. Oh my God. And so I was at the Nautilus Hotel of Miami Beach. It's a Sonesta hotel. And I was going through my thing, doing my videos there. And of course, I got spotted by the general manager, who's a buddy. Yeah. And he's like, hey, have a coffee with me. I was like, absolutely. So sitting there with Carlos Garcia, general manager, waiting in line at his coffee shop. And someone came up to the front of the line. He's like, I'm in a rush. My tour bus is about to leave. Can I just hop in and get a coffee? Oh. He actually left the line, went around the counter, asked the woman what she would like, made her coffee drink because he came up through food and beverage, gave it to her and said, it's on me. Enjoy your trip. And I'll see you when you get back. And did it in front of me. Amazing. Great to see. That's the kind of hospitality of a general manager, just like taking care of things and making sure at a beautiful resort.
The real question is, was there any latte art?
No latte art, but he gave it with great no time. She had to get on that tour bus.
We had a tour to catch. No time for latte art.
Just a great leader. So shout out to Carlos Garcia at the Nautilus Hotel in Miami Beach.
Ooh, that's cool. I love that story.
Yeah, it was nice. Like, sometimes you just kind of watch, you see, you let your team do their thing and there's a rush. He jumped into action.
I'm a big fan of when general managers just roll up their sleeves and they get back there and they do that. To me, it's an excellent way to lead. And I love seeing that because it just shows you that no, you're not above any job. Like you are part of the bigger team effort. And it sets an incredible tone. Any property I've ever worked at where a general manager would do that, even if they didn't know exactly what to do and they just at least got in there and got
just
to
try it.
talk to the guest to like stall a bit,
Mhm.
even that goes a long way. So, I mean, yeah, love that. That's
No,
a great story.
that was the one on the streets, brought live on the streets. That's what I saw.
Hot live from the streets of Miami. So this is interesting. This actually got me thinking, totally different. I was at a grocery store and there was a teenage girl that was like, she was a bagger and she was helping take bags out to the person's car. And I don't know, I guess it just depends on where you live. I don't see much of that
Don't do it here
where,
anymore. Yeah.
yeah, they don't do it in Los Angeles anymore. But what I thought is like, just judging by her age, probably let's just say she's in high school, it's the tail end of summer, probably her summer job, or maybe she does it throughout the year. But again, it was just like, it just felt good. It was like, what a wonderful experience for her to have. It's not a crazy fancy job. She's able to earn some extra cash, meet people, have this sense of service. Yes, it is the grocery store, but you can have customer service and hospitality in anything that you do. And it was just a cute little interaction that I got to see. And it just made me happy that I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. There are people still out there that are having these hospitality experiences at a young age that even if she goes on to do anything else, whatever her career might be down the line, I think that she'll probably think back to these times that she learned some pivotal lessons in that job. And she was just helping bag and take out groceries at a giant grocery store.
Oh, but every one of those connections, you never know who you're going to meet, and you can make somebody's day every time.
It's so true. So true. So love that. We can see it all out there. Find a little bit of inspiration everywhere. Well, our hospitality quote. You want to go ahead and read this?
I will. Hospitality is an expression of kindness that brings joy.
Namaste.
I know, but it's true. Hospitality is an expression of kindness that brings joy. I like that.
It's simple. I love this quote. It's simple, but it's this idea of just kind of like sprinkling joy. It's that paying it forward, whether you're doing it in the context of a job or whether you're doing it just in the context of just being a kind neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
You're making somebody feel good, and they end up passing that on. It's contagious in the best way.
Yeah, it was like surprisingly yesterday, same hotel. A lady was having a stroller. She was by herself with her kid, had to get down one stair, was trying to get her stroller, and Hotel Steve jumped in. Like, let me help you with that. Helped her with her stroller. And she looked at me like, oh, thank you so much. That was a huge help. A little thing. And I went about my day. But it's true. Like, that was a little touch that, who knows, maybe she'll pass that on to somebody else, and it's a big butterfly effect for the rest of the day.
Hotel Steve or Super Dad Steve, one way or another.
Hotel Steve jumped in there.
It's interesting. I won't share too many specifics because I shared this story, but it reminded me this sort of like passing it on. There was somebody that ended up, a friend of mine who ended up, hearing about somebody that was like really struggling and having a hard time. And so they went out of their way to just give them something a little bit extra. They gave them some extra cash. And the person in need was like, no, I can't take this. I can't take this. And that individual was like, no, you will take this. All I ask is that at some point you pay it forward. Not whether it's next week, whether it's in 5 months, you remember this and you pay it forward when you are in a situation where you can give something. So just take it, accept it, but then pay it forward. And I thought that it was such a beautiful exchange. I mean, and that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
There's all of that in hospitality. So I love that.
Yeah, that's why hospitality, the standards of hospitality end up in the real world. We need some more of that around the globe.
Sure do. Wow, I feel like we had like a little like emotional.
We did. And maybe somebody out here will pick up on it that's listening, and they'll do something today in their hotels or in their hospitality company. So take care of somebody today. Give it a little extra, and let's see what happens.
A little extra something.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's all it takes.
It is. So true.
So let us know what happens next week when you come watch us live. Come let us know what you did today to pay it forward to somebody.
Love that. Very cool. Well, that's it for today's show. Super fun.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.